Assalamu alaikum, dear students. Hope that all of you are fine with your family members. This is a very critical time for all of us. As you are the examining batch, we want to review the syllabus related to your practical and clinical exams. Hope you will be benefited if you follow sincerely. Is the sound is clear? Any response, please? Okay, the time has started. Today our topic is diagnosis of pregnancy. This chapter is related to all the cases. So the basic topic should be discussed at first. Diagnosis of pregnancy. At first, we will know what is pregnancy. Pregnancy is a maternal condition of having a developing fetus in maternal body. Pregnancy occurs usually in the reproductive period, that is between the age of 15 to 45 years. Normal duration of pregnancy or normal duration of gestation is 40 completed weeks or 10 lunar month or 9 months 7 days or 280 days, counted from the first day of the last menstrual period. Pregnancy is called preterm when it is less than 37 completed weeks. Pregnancy is called term when it is between 37th completed weeks to 42nd completed weeks. It is called post-term when it is more than 42 weeks. Pregnancy is divided into first trimester, that is up to 12 weeks, second trimester between 13th to 28th completed weeks, and third trimester 29th to 40 completed weeks. So we are dividing pregnancy into three trimester. What is the importance of diagnosis of pregnancy? To assure the couple, to prevent exposure, and to start antenatal care. Diagnosis in first trimester. When a patient comes to us, usually with symptom or with positive pregnancy test done at home, and she has some symptoms, usually 6 symptoms are presented by the patients during first trimester. At first, amenorrhea or cessation of menstruation. Sorry for the interruption. Number 1 symptom is in the first trimester, amenorrhea. Sorry for the interruptions. As we are very new to this broadcasting system, first classes will be some, there will be some hesitation. Sorry for that. Okay. Now I start again. Symptom of pregnancy in first trimester. Number 1, amenorrhea. Number 2, nausea with or without vomiting. Number 3, increased frequency of micturition. Number 4, breast symptoms. Number 5, appetite change. And number 6, fatigue. So when a patient comes with amenorrhea, we should search for the other symptoms in first trimester of pregnancy. Nausea with or without vomiting. It is divided into 2 types. Morning sickness, which usually occurs in most of the women. It is subsided spontaneously after the end of 3rd month. Then hyperemesis gravidarum. It is the extreme nausea and vomiting associated with hyperplacentosis. Occurs in multiple pregnancy, molar pregnancy in these conditions. This nausea is correlated with human chorionic gonadotropic level, which peaks at 60 to 90 days, then disappears. So we discussed amenorrhea, nausea with or without vomiting. Now increased frequency of micturition. Why there is increased frequency of micturition in first trimester? Usually there is congestion of the bladder mucosa, irritation of the bladder by the pregnant uterus, resting of the bulky uterus on the bladder, and changes of maternal osmoregulation, which causes increased thirst and polyuria. This also disappears after the end of 3rd month. Breast symptoms. Complaints by the patients are enlargement of the breast, heaviness, discomfort, and pricking sensation, which is more pronounced in primary patient at 6th to 8th weeks. Appetite change, that is craving for certain types of food and refusal of other types of food. And number 6 is fatigue, that is increased tendency to sleep all the time. These are the 6 symptoms, complaints by the patient. Now I will discuss the signs observed by the or examined by the physician. We should notice that in the first trimester, the main signs are in the breast changes and external genitalia changes. In the abdomen, we will not find any positive finding. What are the breast signs? Breast signs are increased size and vascularity, increases pigmentation of the nipple and primary areola, appearance of the secondary areola and Montgomery tubercle, expression of colostrum as early as 12th weeks. These are in general examination breast changes. In abdominal examination, we will not find any positive sign, as uterus is pelvic organ until 12th weeks. So we cannot measure the pelvic height, uterine height. Now we will start to see some pelvic changes, that is external genitalia. The main changes are in the cervix, in the vulva, vagina. What are these? three signs are described. The first sign is Jacomier's sign or Chadwick's sign. Means discoloration of the cervix, vagina and labia while pregnant. It occurs due to local vascular congestion. Number 2, Osiander's sign. What is it? Increased pulsation in the lateral fornix, which occurs around 8th week of gestation. Then Goodell's sign. Cervix becomes soft as early as 6th weeks. The consistency is like lip of human. These are the signs to palpate and to inspect. Then pars speculum examination. Bluish discoloration of the cervix occurs due to increased vascularity. Now we will do bimanual examination. We want to feel the uterus. Our target is to feel and to examine the uterus. What we will see? Increased size of the uterus, consistency is soft, and shape is globular. Here another 2 signs are described to diagnosis pregnancy from uterus. Number 1 is Hagar's sign. Number 2 is Palmer's sign. Hagar's sign is found between 6th to 10th weeks. The procedure, I will show a picture to you. By bimanual examination, Hagar's sign is elicited. How? 2 fingers in the anterior fornix through the vagina and 2 fingers of the other hand over the abdomen behind the uterus. Usually, cervix becomes soft below the growing uterus, so that both the fingers through the vagina and through the abdomen are approximated, can be approximated, and it is a positive sign of pregnancy. It is Hagar's sign. It occurs between 6th to 10th week of pregnancy. Another one is Palmer's sign, that is rhythmic uterine contraction felt on bimanual examination. So we have taken the history. There are 6 symptoms. Then we examined. There are some signs for pregnancy. Now we can go for confirmation of the pregnancy by 2 tests. Number 1 is immunological test by human gonadotrophic hormone, and number 2 is ultrasonography of uterus and adnexa or lower pelvic organs. These are confirmatory. Immunological test done by human chorionic gonadotrophic hormone. This hormone is released by tropoblastic tissue, and detection in maternal serum is possible after 8 to 10 days of conception. So it is the earliest test. HCG can also be detected in the maternal urine on 23 to 24 days after conception. This HCG level peaks at 10th to 12 weeks of gestation, then plateau before falling. How this human chorionic gonadotropin can be measured? There are some methods: radio immunoassay, immunoradiometric assay, ELISA, fluoroimmunoassay. All these can be done within 4 weeks of last menstrual period, first day of the last menstrual period, that means gestational age. Among them, more sensitive is ELISA. Next, ultrasonography. We can see, what can we see in the first trimester? It is also a written question. In first trimester, by ultrasonography, what we try to see to confirm pregnancy and to see the well-being of pregnancy. Number 1, gestational sac is identified as early as 29 to 35 days of gestational age or gestation. Yolk sac can be identified, can be seen on 5th menstrual week. Fetal pole and cardiac activity on 6th week. Fetal movement 7th week. Doppler effect of ultrasonogram can peak heart rate reliable at 10th week. So ultrasonography findings can give us the idea about the gestational sac, gestational age, movement, viability in the first trimester. So these are the findings and diagnosis in first trimester, symptom, sign and investigation. Now we will go to the second trimester. A patient totally was unattended. There was no antenatal checkup. Suddenly she came with some complaint. She even does not know whether she is pregnant or not. So we have the knowledge to make some question and diagnose her as she is pregnant. Symptoms. What are the symptoms she may present with? Number 1, like previous first trimester, amenorrhea and morning sickness. Urinary symptom. These 3 are common with first trimester. New symptom appear is quickening and gradual abdominal enlargement. What is quickening? It is the maternal perception of fetal movement. In case of primi gravida, this quickening can be perceived by the mother at 18th to 20 week of pregnancy or gestation, and in case of multi it is 16th to 18 weeks. These are the symptoms. Now the signs, that is finding of physician. In case of first trimester, we did not find any positive finding in abdomen, but in case of second trimester, the main findings are parabdominally. What are the signs? On inspection, at first abdominal examination, on inspection, we will see some pigmentation, which are called linea nigra and stria. What is linea nigra? It extends from pubic symphysis to ensiform cartilage around 20 weeks of pregnancy. What is stria? It is a puckering of the subcutaneous fat due to stressing of the abdominal wall. The color may be pink or white and visible in the lower abdomen around towards the flanks. Now palpation. In palpation we will see 5 points: fundal height, uterine consistency and contraction, fetal movement, fetal parts palpation and external ballotment. These are the points of palpation. Fundal height increases with the progressive enlargement of the uterus. Consistency is usually soft to elastic and Braxton Hicks contraction is present. What is Braxton Hicks contraction? It is a painless rhythmic contraction of the uterus during pregnancy, and it can be observed or it can be examined from 20 weeks onward. Then fetal movement and palpation of the fetal parts, these are also obvious from 20 week of gestation. And external ballotment can be done, elicited on abdominal examination. These are the palpatory finding. Now auscultation. Fetal heart sound can be heard by Pinard stethoscope as early as 20 weeks of gestation. And another sound which is called uterine shuffle. It is the soft blowing and systolic murmur heard at the side of the uterus. It is synchronous with maternal pulse. These two sounds are heard by auscultation in the second trimester. So, symptom and signs of the second trimester is discussed. Now, how we can confirm? In the second trimester, confirmation is done by ultrasonography. It is also a routine around 18 to 20 weeks. What we see? Importance of second trimester ultrasonography. It is also a written question, also Viva question. Detailed survey of fetal anatomy to detect any fetal malformation and fetal viability. Placental localization, amniotic fluid measurement, and integrity of the cervical canal. This is all about second trimester's diagnostic procedure. Now diagnosis in the third trimester. Symptom: amenorrhea persists, enlargement of the abdomen which causes palpitation and exertional dyspnea. This is a new symptom, exertional dyspnea, palpitation. Then lightening. Lightening, what is lightening? It occurs, this feelings comes to patient around 38 week. It is a sense of relief of pressure symptom due to engagement of the presenting part. Then frequency of micturition reappears. Frequency of micturition reappears in the third trimester and fetal movement is more pronounced. What are the signs of third trimester pregnancy? Signs are cutaneous changes are more prominent with increased pigmentation and stria. Uterine shape from cylindrical it becomes spherical. Fundal height increases with the progressive enlargement. Symphysiofundal height after 24th weeks of gestation. Symphysiofundal height in centimeter corresponds to the number of weeks of pregnancy up to 36 weeks. Now I have to show you another picture in the book. As we have no facility to show the slides in live video, so I am sorry for this procedure. Height of the uterus. 20 weeks when uterus is at the level of umbilicus. When the uterus at the just below the ensiform cartilage, it is 36 weeks. Between these 2 points, umbilicus and below the cartilage, the midpoint is 28 weeks pregnancy. 28 weeks of pregnancy. It is a rough measurement of pregnancy with the fundal height. The midpoint is 28 weeks. So between the point between 20 weeks and 28 weeks is 24 weeks. And between the 28 and 36 weeks is 32 weeks. I hope you can understand it. So these are the measurement of the fundal height and symphysiofundal height in third trimester. The other signs are Braxton Hicks contraction, that is more evident. Fetal movement easily felt. Fetal identification of fetal parts are more easy. And fetal heart sound heard clearly. These are the signs of third trimester pregnancy. Now, if there is any confusion about pregnancy, how can we confirm it? By ultrasonography of pregnancy profile. In the first and second trimester, we usually say ultrasonography of the pelvic organ or uterus and adnexa. And in the last trimester, we mentioned the term ultrasonography of pregnancy profile. So, in case by ultrasonography, fetal growth assessment is more accurately measured. Amniotic fluid volume can be measured. Position of the placenta, size of the placenta, maturity of the placenta can be identified. Position of the fetus is also needed for mode of delivery, which can be seen by ultrasonography. So, we are in the last part of this chapter, diagnosis of pregnancy, first trimester, second trimester, third trimester. If we summarize the whole things, we can see some manifestation of pregnancy. These are the manifestation of pregnancy, which is broadly divided into three categories: presumptive evidence, probable evidence, and positive evidence. Presumptive evidence is non-specific, probable is which indicate pregnancy, and positive evidence guarantees pregnancy. What are the presumptive, that is non-specific evidence? It is divided into symptom and sign. Symptom is nausea, vomiting, disturbance in micturition, fatigue, and breast symptom. And signs are amenorrhea, breast change, skin pigmentation, and changes in vaginal mucosa. These are the presumptive non-specific evidences. What are the probable evidence which indicate pregnancy? These are enlargement of the abdomen, changes in size, shape, and consistency of uterus, Braxton Hicks contraction present, physical outlining of the fetus, and positive result of endocrine test. And lastly, positive evidence, that is which guarantees pregnancy. Identification of the fetal heart sound, it is almost diagnostic of pregnancy. Fetal perception of the fetal movement by the examiner or physician, and recognition of embryo or fetus by ultrasonography. So these are about diagnosis of pregnancy. Now the last heading comes that what are the differential diagnosis of pregnancy? Is there any differential diagnosis of pregnancy? Yes, there are some differential diagnoses. When a patient comes with a distended or enlarged abdomen, at first time in our hospital or our chambers, we can mistake this by pregnancy when there is other conditions present. What are these? What are the differential diagnoses? Number one, fibroid uterus. You know, it is also a condition of the female during reproductive period. So, a fibroid uterus can be mistaken as pregnancy, or a pregnancy can be mistaken as fibroid uterus. So, how can we differentiate fibroid uterus? Here, amenorrhea is absent, consistency of the fibroid is firm, all positive sign of pregnancy is absent, and lastly, confirmation done by ultrasonography. Number two is cystic ovarian tumor. Here is also same, amenorrhea, menstrual problem or amenorrhea is absent, all positive sign of pregnancy is absent, confirmed by ultrasonography, and some marker of ovarian tumor. Encysted tubercular peritonitis, there must be history of tubercular infection, and the swelling is usually ill-defined. And positive signs of pregnancy are absent, confirmed by ultrasonography and tuberculin test. Another diagnosis is distended urinary bladder. By catheterization, the swelling is reduced so that we can evaluate whether it is pregnancy or full bladder. Hematometra, pseudocyesis, these are other diagnoses for differential diagnoses of pregnancy. So these are all about diagnosis of pregnancy. Today is the first class. Gradually we will discuss all the cases, OSPI and Viva cards. And if you have any queries, you can share to the group. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.